CRM platforms suck. What's going on, sales family? It's Fairhead from Sales Unveiled once again, helping slash through all of the misconceptions around sales and side hustles and giving you some practical advice you can use in your day-to-day lives, as well as some horrendous lockdown hair, of course. CRM platforms, easily one of the most powerful bits of software that we use as salespeople on a day-to-day basis to do our jobs effectively. I mean, could you imagine sifting through thousands of cells on a spreadsheet just to find the right prospect to speak to? That'd be horrible, right? That being said, they can definitely suck, and they can definitely suck really hard, which is why in the video today, we're going to explore the top 5 reasons why salespeople hate using CRM systems. Now, it's worth mentioning that this is completely unbiased. I'm not affiliated with any CRM platforms or any of those kinds of things. Just going to be a little bit of friendly advice from one salesperson to hopefully a couple of others out there. Point 1, they're too time consuming. So you've just had a fantastic meeting with a kick-ass prospect, or maybe it was a call, it went really well, and now you have to type up all the notes on Salesforce or on your CRM platform. Yay. Now, a recent study by SalesLoft found that on average, salespeople take around about 4 hours per week updating their CRM platform. That's valuable time away from cold calling or prospecting, or even just catching up with your prospects overall. What's even worse is that the later stages that you usually have in the sales cycle, so the final couple of meetings, usually tend to be the most in-depth ones, which means that you'll have to spend a lot more time updating your CRM there as well. Now, while some platforms like HubSpot and Jimny do have fantastic integrations with the likes of Salesforce, unfortunately, not everything will integrate with each other, just adding on to our pressure and taking our valuable time. Fix up CRM. Point 2, too many features. So a lot of us think that these CRM platforms are designed with salespeople in mind. They're not. I mean, the world doesn't revolve around us. If you think about it, there are thousands of roles within any individual organization that directly needs to interact with your customer, whether it's account managers, client success teams, your IT team, whenever they can be asked to kind of respond back to your IT tickets. Even individual roles in sales have different things that they'll be using these platforms for. For example, account executives are much less likely to log things like calls than sales reps, for example. As such, then there are thousands of features on these platforms that you're probably not going to use on a day-to-day basis. And a lot of these CRM platforms have thousands of ways of doing these different activities as well, which is, incredibly complex. So it's very easy to get lost using these platforms, especially if you're a beginner. Good luck with that. Point 3, the expense. So for a lot of you, similar to myself actually a couple of years ago, are in the process of ramping up your sales team and need to start looking away from spreadsheets, which are causing you to go blind, and actually invest in a CRM platform. Now, unfortunately, a lot of these will charge you quite a lot. I think Salesforce is currently charging around about £210 to £220 per user per month. So if you have a relatively large sales team, it definitely adds up an expense, which, a lot of us can't really afford. That being said, thankfully, there are a couple of cheaper options out on the marketplace, such as Pipedrive, which I believe costs around about £12.50 per user per month. It's a little bit more affordable. The sad state of reality is that a lot of these technology companies will charge you a lot more for what you don't necessarily need. I mean, you probably don't need a lot of the features that some of these offer. So do your research beforehand and make sure you don't get scammed off like a lot of you probably are with your CRM platforms. Sad state of reality, but it's true. Point 4, they don't work all the time. So this is probably the biggest reason why our salespeople hate using CRM platforms. They don't work a lot of the time as well, which is really frustrating. Now, you can't necessarily blame a lot of the programmers with this stuff, just because of the fact that if you think about it, these CRM platforms are sifting through thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of bits of data. So it's normal for things to crash every now and then, but I guarantee when you need them to work, they probably won't. So there've been too many occasions for me to count whereby, I receive a cold call on my phone. I'm not sure who's kind of dialed that. So I pick up, trying to rapidly search for whoever's called me up, only for Salesforce to crash there and then on the spot. Another thing that's quite common for us salespeople, if you're anything like me and you open up like about 20 tabs as you're trying to call people, they'll just load forever and they'll never actually end up working, and it can interfere with your VoIP call. Finally, if there's 2 people editing your Salesforce account or CRM account at the same time, sometimes it can kind of cause damage and cause massive issues there as well. So just take your time with some of these. They can be incredibly frustrating to use, and I guess, just be prepared that things can potentially go wrong, and probably will go wrong as well. Point 5, they're not beginner friendly. So I've been working in sales for around about 10 years or so, and I've used loads of different CRM platforms in my time. And I don't know why they do this, but they're designed very, very differently one another. I think they want to sort of show how good they are or how advanced they are compared to kind of other platforms out there, but there's no need for it, and they're really not beginner friendly. I mean, my heart goes out to a lot of salespeople who've maybe just started in the industry trying to kind of get to grips with these. They're incredibly difficult to use if you're completely unfamiliar with these types of things. So you do need to ensure that, you know, you look into your CSM, who your own account manager for these platforms, and actually gain the training that you need to use them effectively, because trust me, they can be a literal pain in the ass. Did somebody say a bonus? So thank you so much for sticking around to the end of the video, guys. I thought I'd just chime in and give my recommendations. Once again, just my opinion. I'm not affiliated with these products at all, but this is what I would recommend if you are thinking about using a CRM platform. The first one would be Salesforce. It's the industry standard typically for salespeople. It's been in the business for long, and I think what they also do, which is really nice, is they give a percentage of their profits away to charity every year. So it's always quite nice to find an ethical company that, you know, does their job pretty good, and also, you know, looks after the wider community there as well. So they're my recommendation for that. That being said, I have railed on them a little bit in this video for their expense. So if you're, you know, a little bit more of a newbie and you want something that's simple, clean and clear to use, I would definitely recommend Pipedrive. Very beginner friendly. It might not have some of the more advanced features that you might need in the first instance, but for a lot of you, I would say get familiar with Pipedrive, or get familiar with both Salesforce and Pipedrive, because both of those are quite similar to some of the other things on the marketplace. Thanks so much for watching another one of my videos, guys. We're growing slowly but surely, but great to see that we're changing the world of sales a little bit, one person at a time, I guess you could say. Please do like and subscribe, and leave a comment down below and let me know actually what CRM platform you're actually using, and if what you kind of like about it, what you hate about it, and we can maybe cover that off in another video there as well. Please do hit that bell notification so you are notified of all the new videos when they come up, and really excited to see you guys in the other one. Have a good one, and until then, CRM systems, fix up.